Okay, I think we're in business now. So, hey y'all, it's me. Hey y'all, my name is Nia. Welcome to Projector Diary Entry 8. I have no prerequisite as to what this is about to be, but we are here documenting. It's been a minute since I've actually intentionally filmed a Projector Diary Entry, and I have my notes app. So this might go everywhere. I'm also a Gemini stellium, so just to know things might get out of place and chaotic, but we still just gonna be talking, and I got some tea brewing on the stove. My first point that I thought about apparently was the 9 years since I started doing Karen West PR. Karen West PR was a PR firm that I started in 2017, January 2017. It's officially been 9 years since then, and nine completes a cycle. Nine completes is the number of completion. When I was thinking about how it's really been that long since I've started at Karen West BR, and it's also nine is also the number of years that I was living with my parents until I moved out. Saying that now, it just seems like a long time, but when looking back over the experience, it had to happen for me that way. From a projector's point of view, it wasn't like, yes, I was out of alignment only because of the culture around me. When I say the culture around me, during that time, people are just trying to adjust to the real world. Being a millennial, you were taught to go to school, do well in school, go to college, pick a major, do well in that major, then graduate, and then use your degree. But unbeknownst to us, that shit did not happen. It happened for some people, and I applaud them, where some people knew what they wanted to do straight out of high school and are still excelling in those fields. But for people like me, it was really like, what do you mean? Like, I gotta know what I wanna do in my life at 18, at 19, even at 23. I have to have all these answers where nobody prepared you for all these answers. Nobody prepared you for a changing world. And within those 9 years, something clicked within me in like maybe 2017, 2018, where it was like, this is not for me. This is not serving my well being. This is not who I want to be. And at the time, I really had no direction. I had no sense of like, hey, let's do this, let's go for this. I just knew I just wanted to do something creative. I just wanted to have this colorful career where something I wouldn't be ashamed of. In reality, it's just like, that shit takes time. Like when you're in your 20s, we're so pressured to have all the answers. We were so pressured to have all the answers as a millennial because we came up in this hustle culture. We came up in grind, don't sleep. Nobody needs sleep. Rest is for the weak. Like that's the mentality that we've had. And oh shit, it's my friend's birthday today. And I did not text her. Hold on. Okay, we're back. Being raised in hustle culture as a millennial has wrecked our nervous system. I don't care if you say, like, oh, I'm fine. Oh, it's fine. It's not fine. It's not fine. The structure that we were given as kids, as teenagers, even young adults does not serve us present day. There are so many millennials that are on the verge of burnout or just working through burnout where you've normalized that in your mind. And really, in reality, no, baby, that shit's not fine and that shit's not normal. We've normalized overworking, not resting, being on go, and overgiving to the point where we don't know how to take care of ourselves. We haven't taken that time to sit and to rest and to figure out where you actually want to go. And that is what led me into human design in the first place, because learning that I am a projector and then learning that that's only 22% of billions of people was reassuring, yes, but it also blew my mind in the fact that, oh, I am not designed to live like everybody else. I am not designed in a sense where I can't work a 9 to 5. And me saying can't is not me diminishing my ability, because I'm just as efficient, just as I am, just as you are working at 9 to 5. It just doesn't align with my energy, and that is okay, and it's to be respected. The issue is that most non-sacrals, being that projectors, manifestors, and reflectors, are not honoring that fact. We've been taught to believe or to find value in doing rather than us being, and is slowly eating away at your well-being. But in order to recognize that, you have to slow down in the first place. When people don't feel like slowing down, that's when you see the attitudes, the projections, the unspoken grief. That's when you see all these patterns playing out in people's lives, because they're not sitting with themselves to recognize what is actually possible for them if they learn to work within their energy, let alone not even rushing their healing, because this just takes time. I started documenting my projector journey, or, human design journey, back in 2024, and it's only been just about 2 years. The deconditioning process on average takes 7 years. And learning that, I was like, oh, bitch, I'm gonna take my time, because what am I rushing for? What am I rushing for, literally? Because if I realize I am mid-30s and I've lived so many years before me, and then I know that there's so many years ahead of me, even knowing that life is not guaranteed, but at least I know that I'm living with intention and living my life to the fullest of my capability. My thing about finding out your design or the deconditioning process is that you really have to learn to forgive yourself for what you thought was right until you knew better. You really got to understand the layers to this shit. It's not your fault. It's really not your fault. What's on you is your growth. What's on you is accepting responsibility. What's on you is holding yourself accountable through the process and through these changes that you're going through. Because what's going to happen on your conditioning journey, and I think I touched on this before, is that everything will fall, everything will crumble, and nothing will look as it once did. And that is the whole entire point. We're watching the country go through its own tower moment. We're watching the country crumble. Everything is a circus at this point. It's entertainment. It's all played out. The only thing that you can do in the grand scheme of things is learn to fortify your mind. Fortify your mind, drop it into your body, soften your belly, breathe deeply, learning breath work, listening to calming things that help calm that nervous system. Because when you step into this journey, or when you decide to slow down or opt for change, your first step, regardless of what type you are, is regulating your nervous system. Your first step is slowing down. That is the first step along any healing journey or anything that you want to change in this dynamic. When I tell y'all this mic is weighing this shirt down, trying to get me to get naked. Piggybacking off of what I just mentioned, when you are learning to regulate your nervous system, when you decide that it is time for you to slow down and you're calling your energy back to you, understand that you also won't be able to make certain leaps and certain changes from pain or hustle energy. I said notes, because note that. You won't be able, what I wrote down is that you won't be able to quantum leap from pain or hustle energy. Any unhealed patterns will make themselves known. And that is where majority of people give up. That is where the majority of people are just like, fuck this shit. I'm not doing this no more. Back to my program. This wasn't working for me. At least with this, I had this versus this. I feel like I'm losing everything. Baby, that's on you. That is your fault. Your mind is your biggest op. So it's going to tell you or try to revert back to what's familiar than what you're changing or what is necessary to change. It's scared. Your ego is scared. That's the thing that I also want people to understand, is that so many decisions that you decide not to make is because of fear. Everything is fear-based. Everybody wants you to be mad, be scared, be cautious, be whoop-de-whoop. And mind you, yes, in a certain sense, fear can be used to your advantage. Hell, there is fear motivation in human design. But when you use it to cripple you and to have you in a sense of stagnancy or to have you on autopilot, that's when it becomes a problem. That's when you really can't be no bitch when it comes to you changing your life and you choosing to do something better for yourself. A common theme I also notice with projectors coming into their design is the difficulty and the challenge and the realization that we got to slow down, that you have to learn what surrendering looks like to you. Surrendering isn't, well, I guess I need to do this for myself, or I guess I need to do this, or I gotta present this. Let me get my resume together. Let me get my portfolio together. That conditioning has you reaching outside of you, when surrendering is you surrendering to your natural flow. For example, if I feel myself getting antsy, I'm frustrated, I'm flatlining, I don't, it's like these sad moments I get for no reason. And I'm just like, okay, what the fuck is up? Like, what am I missing? What am I not doing? And honestly, I just need to lay on the floor, go for a walk, sit in silence. Those are the small actions that you can take when you're learning to surrender to your natural flow and natural state of being. But because we rush and we hustle and we're constantly moving and everything has this sense of urgency, people do not feel comfortable slowing down, nor do they feel like they can. For energy projectors, they have that root with that energy. So it gives them the illusion that they can keep up with everybody else. But you're still a projector at the end of the day. Yes, you have that amp energy, but it's also ideal for you to understand what your threshold is. When you're reaching that point of burnout, of stagnancy, of bitterness, that's when it's time for you to be like, okay, what's up? To at least acknowledge that pause. But the projectors that I have in my life, they are living and keeping up with everybody else. But when you ask them, oh, how you been? How you doing? Girl, I'm tired. I'm just tired. Okay, let's unpack. Let's unpack that. Why are you tired? What are you doing? And because at least in my household, when I was coming up, or like specifically when I was a teenager and also living at home after coming home from school, there wasn't no sleeping in. You're not bored. You're not bored. There's always something to do. Why are you in bed this late? Why are you taking a nap right now? Why are you doing this? And it's like my body needed to rest. My body needed to rest, but being from the norm of things, or I guess the accepted way of being, it was like, no, you lazy and you need to get up and do something, or you're not doing enough for yourself. Why don't you care about yourself? I care about myself very much. I just also like to sleep. I need to sleep very much. Like specifically for myself, I'm taking a nap. If I don't have it, I don't have it. And it's important that you also learn to communicate those needs to other people who do not know anything about human design, who do not know anything about what you're doing. It's important for you to communicate, hey, this is why I need XYZ, for people who ask for a reason. But other than that, it is on you to be able to learn how to manage your energy and manage it well. This is my final point, and I'm gonna leave you alone. In human design, you have your authority. Your authority is, in short, how you are suggested to make your decisions. There are different types of authority, but specifically, I am talking about emotional authority. Emotional authority is about 55% of the population. That's 55% of people that need to be processing their emotions and going through emotional cycles. And those emotional cycles may vary from like short to long, medium, however they need to feel in order to learn to make decisions from a space of neutrality. That's 55% of people that are not doing that. Chances are they're not doing it. And what's happening is non-sacrals, the people who have their emotional, not their solar plexus center undefined or open, they're amplifying that energy as well. My point is that people don't know what they're doing with their emotions. People don't know how to manage them, how to name them, how to work through them. Of course, there are us that are doing the work to get through that, but the majority of people aren't. So we look like oddballs to them. We sound crazy to them. But those are the people that are running this world. Those are the people that are running this country. And it's all chaos. You see that it's all chaos because niggas ain't feeling and healing through their shit. And so they're running out like that unspoken grief I spoke of earlier. They got that going on. You got projections happening to people. You have all these just inflations and extreme highs and lows of emotional discomfort. And niggas are not sitting with that shit. Niggas are not sitting with that shit. And it blows my mind because it'll be those kind of points where I want to bring to people's attention how important it is to just regulate your nervous system so you can learn to feel through these things. I'm sitting here holding this tea. But yeah, you got 55% of people that's not doing the work. I won't say they're not doing the work, but y'all know what I mean. Because we see people tweaking the fuck out, and then when you see it, you recognize as a projector or reflector, you're recognizing this. You're seeing it happen because you're taking this bird's eye perspective and this observational view where you're just like, damn, y'all really need to get this together. Y'all really need to get this together because when you're making decisions from these like emotional highs and emotional lows, those decisions are not working out. At least 9 times out of 10, that shit ain't working out long term. And it's because you have not waited for that space of neutrality. And the same thing goes for people who have it open or undefined. We still have to sit with and figure out what is of us and what isn't. That's when the type of authority you have comes into play. Because me being self-projected, I need to sit within myself and be like, okay, was that just because he was feeling like that, or did I really feel like that? Is she really tripping, or am I really tripping? Those are the questions that you got to come to terms with, even if your ego get hurt. Like, you can't, why is it blinking? I hope it's not blinking because I'm talking. Was it blinking? I might just be high. But, damn. Now do I want to put this on here? I mean, I guess I can hold it. It's my last part. I don't even know what I was saying. But yes, I do know what I was saying. That's when using your authority comes into play, when you understand that 55% of people having emotional authority, chances are they don't even know what the fuck that is. And them making important decisions. Them making decisions that matter. And that's when you're just like, okay, let me get my shit together for myself so I can know how to move. And the more people that take the time to figure out how to move, I feel like the world could be a better place. I feel like at least in our personal life, things can go a lot smoother. But until then, the people that know better, the people that are aware and doing the things, it's on us to still have that compassion and that empathy for those who are still going through it. And it's frustrating as fuck. It's annoying as hell because if you can be stupid, then I can be angry. That's really how I get sometimes, because sometimes me telling you about yourself is warranted because you acting like that and you acting crazy. So the 47-ish that are undefined and open, learn what's of you and what isn't. Like, learn what you feel like. Learn how it feels when you are really excited about something and you want it to work out, and then how it feels when those nerves calm and you realize, well, maybe this might be not aligned for me right now. You can be excited about it, but also have that conversation where you're also not doubting yourself, where you're also not being self-critical or, doing the fucking most. Just really, let's give it some time. Let's see how this turns out. Let's see how I feel about it tomorrow. Let me sleep on it. Let me see how I feel about it next week. Take your time, especially when it's life-changing situations. You have to sit back and think what's best for you and what works best for your energy.